Welcome back, guys. It's another week. Let's go.
Morning YouTube, it's Tuesday morning. You joined me late morning. Adam's just rocked up on site, and Edward and brother George. We are up the hill in the job, or at the job I should say, where we were Friday, week before last, working for GMoss Contracting again, chipping up some more of the cutbacks he's done along the hedges, canopy raising, etc. The product is nicely wilted, so we've just started hooking into it this morning. Got a Stewart trailer here like we did last time on last week's video. We've 2/3 filled it already. George has just run off to get another trailer so we can sort of try and ferry one, leave one here while I'm chipping so I can keep going, because the haul is a bit of a run this time, not just out the field and up the farm like it was last time. Weather today pretty good. We've been given fairly rubbish week, but it's actually overcast, a little bit drizzly, but it is warm and the sun is out. Adam's just giving me the thumbs up as I'm doing a little bit to the camera, so that's all good. I'll just spin the camera around. So we've worked through one pile. It was originally going to be a bonfire pile, so we are a bit all over the place here, but we do have the digger in the background that we can pull it apart and sort of reorganise to get the stuff in a nice grab full for myself to then put through the chipper.
Tractor and chipper out. Another day for Big George Moss. Going around these headlands clearing up the stuff we cut last winter. Ed there in the machine just clearing up the last bits ready to burn. And all this stuff in the middle is contaminated, so that's getting burnt. We're just going to set up next to that next pile.
Right, so first trailer is just on its way. George is just heading off around the headlands now with it, and Ed is manoeuvring the second trailer into position. It's not as big as that Stewart trailer by any means, but at least we can keep going with it. Chipper update. Since last Tuesday, when you saw me and Nathan doing the pockets, we've had no slip blades, no broken blades, and the blades have actually stayed nice and square with the anvil, because we did adjust a few of them up on the grub screws behind the pockets. I would imagine that's what they're called. I think it's like a 6 or 8 mil Allen key that you have to get in behind them and just wind them literally half a turn, just to make that little bit of difference to square the blades back up with the anvil. So yeah, we've had no problems since then, and we are still on the 10 blades which we did replace that day. Put the grinder over them this morning and given them a bit of a better edge. I'll flip the camera around, you can have a look at these piles. So down there, that's what it's like. George was telling me this morning it's actually been down 2 years, so it is super dry. It is chipping up nice though, but it is very dry and dusty.
I'm going to leave Bert to that. He's up here for the day. George is just about to go and empty that trailer. That's full. As you can see, that is some dusty old dry chip. So I've been sat out here a while. But yeah, they'll run that back to the farm, and then I think we've got a couple of lorries in this afternoon. George is going to load out. But yeah.
Towels, all sorts of shit to do, tourniquets and stuff like that, so big as well.
It'll cost you 10 grand.
Hey! So it is Tuesday. I'm down on a harvesting site, just checking in on Paul, and about to have a site meeting with the client just to see that they're all happy, these trackways are drying out, and just make a plan. I think they're going away for a bit, so they just want to know what's going on and what we're up to. We didn't get much yesterday because we were all sat on a first aid course. I think we might have a little bit of footage of that, but nothing that you lot need to see really. Pretty boring, but it ticks the boxes, keeps the boys up to date, keeps us safe. So it's important to keep up on the training and refreshers and keep everyone on a good cycle. So I'm going to try and find somewhere out the way of this harvester and just show you how he's getting on. I've just popped down to see Paul in the harvester. He's just started a new block a couple of days ago. We are thinning and racking this pine block. It's the first thin it's had, so it's been left a little bit too long. So he's yeah, just starting to work his way through now. I'll stand somewhere while I'm out of the way. There's a mix of birch and pine in here, so we're just trying to pick our way through, get as much product out as we can. It's a bit tight in there for that big old girl, but it's making it work. There's a landing site over there. This was the selective spruce thin. So all the spruce has been taken out of here. Larch and native broadleafs left. And then Paul has gone and punched a hole straight through into the next block from here. So that's what we're aiming for. That's a rack. We're leaving them every 6 rows. The harvester can reach across 3 rows from each side, so we're slightly thinning it on the way down. When he comes back up, he'll reach across the other 3 rows next to it. But yeah, that is the aim of the game for this block. And that goes all the way down, about double the width of that thin. At the moment it's kind of doing a rack a day, so it'll keep him busy for a good couple of weeks, I think, up and down that.
Tuesday afternoon now, guys. Been at it quite a while. We're out of the field which you saw me filming in this morning. The field is the other side of the end of that tree line behind that trailer. We did quite a number of piles up there, worked our way all the way to the far end, and then this afternoon we've been in this bit of wood that George has cleared out. We had a couple of piles dotted around here. We're coming to the last of it now. We are just having a quick break whilst George empties the trailer again. We've just the balance of this left to clear up, just the bottom bit of the pile. There's this long piece of maple just we've extracted here. Ed is up there gathering a bit of brush. I think it's a bit of snap out. It's just gathering that up. It's going to ferry that up to me here, and then that will clear this job up. I'll be back to the yard tonight, hopefully time permitting. I'll get to have a look in the chipper and see what damage we've done today with regards to the blades. With a bit of luck we might get another edge on them. Certainly an edge good enough to do logs in the yard, but that will be all for now. Thought I might add a little bit more to this clip as well, and it's worth noting, and eagle-eyed viewers will have seen on the previous videos, we do have a bit of guarding around the tractor, around the AdBlue tank, diesel tank there. Probably picked it up on the other side. And if I go underneath the tractor, we have a full underside armour as well. You'll see that denoted by those silver cap end screws, I believe they're called. But what that does mean is that when we come into places like where we are now, which is a wood, can't guarantee that there aren't stumps and nasties in the floor. As you can see, the coverage is, well, the foliage here, the ground cover is really tall. There's a stump, not that you're ever going to hit that, but there could be ones lower, so that's where that armour really comes into its own. We know we can come out here with a relatively confident, I suppose, that if we do hit something, it's not going to be too damaging for underneath. Although we've got quite a bit of ground clearance here, being on a tractor, there's a lot of exposed surfaces under there which will do well to be protected. So hopefully that armour will pay dividends. Coming to the end of it now, but we do get to finish off with a bit of cream here. Got some mixed, mainly ash, but there is some oak in there. Probably the odd bit of cherry, a bit of hazel that George has decided it's too wibbly, too small. Slightly probably gone over for logwood. So it's going in the chip pile as well, but it does make for a lot easier chipping. Should just top that trailer off nicely. So that's over and out for now. Good morning YouTube, it's Wednesday morning, up bright and early this morning. It is just knocking on 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to set off up the A1 to a place called Leeming Bar, and today's mission is to take our new concrete breaker back to where we've bought it from, because we have had some teething problems with it. It's a breaker that goes on the front of a digger, and we have bought it so we can double up its use as a post knocker. I've used one quite extensively in the past and had a lot of success with it. They're very good, very handy, but something on it is not quite right, and we haven't managed to get to the bottom of it. It might be our machine, it might be the breaker, but we need to start ruling things out. We've done various pressure tests, pipe changes, etc., to no success, so we need to just start afresh. So it's going back up the road. I've got 260 miles to do to get there, so we're leaving bright and early and gonna get up the road. So see you up there.
It is Wednesday morning. I'm just on my way out the yard, got a couple of jobs to go and see. James has taken our team over to Essex, I believe, and we are waiting for a lorry to turn up to load up some more G50. So yeah, another day, let's have it.
So morning again guys, it's just gone 8:30. We've unloaded the pecker, we've made it here. We're up at Leeming Bar, which is up near Wakefield, North Allerton area, up the A1. We've had a good trip, bit of traffic just near Pontefract on the A1, some roadwork traffic, but other than that we made really good progress. It's the merits of setting off at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's a whole lot of traffic I avoided this morning, so really chuffed with that. Made really good time. These guys have just opened and we're going to be first in the queue to have them look at the breaker. Just talking to the chap now hopefully it could be a quick fix. It might be a gas issue. Nitrogen's leaked out of the post of the breaker. He was just saying they had one in last week that has gone the same way as ours. So fingers crossed this could be a quick fix. It's been a long drive, but a quick fix is ideal. After here, I'm going to truck up the road, just 15 minutes, and got to do a little bit of shopping. So watch this space for that.
Lorry in, ready to load.
Good afternoon, guys. It's Wednesday afternoon. We have made it back to the yard. Left at 11:05 from Catterick, and I've just got back at 4 o'clock to the yard now. So it's quite a long old drive, but the reason for said trip up to Catterick is because we have purchased this old muck fork, sorry, hasn't got a grab on it, it's a muck fork. And the reason for that is we reckon with the gaps in the tines it might work a bit better for pushing up the logwood. Seeing as it was there so long, some of it's got quite muddy, and the bark has started to sort of create a lot of mulch, which is ending up in the chip, in our G50 chip. But although you can't see it, it's in there. So we're just a bit concerned about the amount of mulch going in there. So hopefully we can push up with that muck grab, and then all of that mulch, composty rubbish will fall out the bottom, and then we can just take that away with the bucket. So fingers crossed it'd be a good job.
So we are just going to take you down to a new site for us in Crowborough. It's a client of ours that's just bought the property. It hasn't been lived in for a while, and I don't think anyone has paid any attention to the garden for quite a few years. So this is going to be a phased project on ours and their behalf. So the first bit is they've got a big conifer hedge running down one boundary. They want to open up, get a view, and then we're going to go from there. So we've got a day booked in to try and get all this conifer hedge out, chipped and gone. We didn't do much talking on site because, as you can imagine, that chipper was running all day, the saw was running all day, and it was a bit noisy. So we managed to run 2 of those Stewart trailer loads out, which, I mean, it's probably 3/4 of an Arctic, those 2. And it was an hour each way to the yard, so 4 and a bit hours of driving, turn round, moving chip. But the client was very happy. We got everything out that we needed to and made a good start. So we're now in talks with them about phase 2. But here is some footage, and let's see how we got on. Fair bit of chip for a day out of an arb job. Basically an arb job, just with a big chipper. So we managed to get 2 trailer loads back today. It's about an hour each way. So done four and a bit hours back and forward, hauling there. We'll drop the trailer back up to Ollie Fuller tomorrow morning and get unlocked. Boys are on their way back. So we're just finishing off here, moving the machine to the next spot on the estate. We've just opened this up for a bit of a landing site because all the timber's going to get extracted out to here. So it's had a bit of a level off-ish. So yeah, digging out the tracks and take the bucket back off, put the Vosh back on, load her up, get her moved. You break that, Bert.
I'm aware of.
Loaded up, ready to go. Gonna get this backed in off the road. We've come down from that way, so a bit of a tight angle, but we're gonna back in, unload, make sure the cows don't escape, and then track on through that way. That'll do, Bert. So here we are. The boys were in here on Friday when we dropped the machine off. You've just seen that, and they've made a start on this next drive. Similar sort of spec to what Nathan was on last time. As you can see, all the ash out in front of the softwood is coming out. All the knackered ash is coming out of there. You can't really tell from this, but there's a fair old bank starting to form just past the digger. And it goes kind of all the way along and around the corner. Still sitting really wet down here. Had a lot of rain Saturday, which hasn't helped us. But Nath is back from holiday and ready to crack on. So the contrast there, you can see what we're going to try and achieve. All the hazel's going to get recoppiced to reshoot. Those ash are out. This bank's going to be clear up to that ridge. Got some ash up above the machine that we'll have out this morning. Have a good grease up and make a start. So yeah, I'm going to leave Nath to it. I'm going to run down to Goudhurst now. I've got some stone coming in because some of the tracks down there are starting to collapse. The cows run the little 3-tonner down to spread that out and track that in. So yeah, let's go see how they're getting on. Has a nice little drive through the Kent countryside for you of you in America that watch this. It's yeah, it's meant to be our summer at the moment, but it's still pretty wet, it's still pretty rainy, so yeah, not really what we want. We've got a delivery coming hopefully next week from Grizzly Trailers down in Devon. That is going to help us massively with getting some machines about. We've got quite a lot of little sites here and there and some stuff clearing up after winter when it got too wet that we've got to do with the forwarder. Haulage on Arctic is obviously costly, so we're going to try and get that in-house. So yeah, when this low loader turns up, we'll be coming straight down to this softwood site, pulling the forwarder out for hopefully a week, maybe 2, and we're just going to go hoover up a load of stuff that we've got to get out. We've got the ash site up near Cudham, that's all got to be extracted. Nate's finished cutting that. We've got to extract the timber and the brash out of the 2 Vosh sites for the local estate that Nathan's at the moment. We've got to clear up of the chestnut site that you remember that was like the absolute som. We've still got some brash to come out of there and all the chipping to do. I think we've still got a bit of timber in there as well. And then back down to cow stocks that you might remember where the harvester broke. We had to put the new hydraulic pumps in the harvester. That never got extracted because again it turned too wet. The clients asked us not to extract due to the ground conditions. So we have a lot of stuff on the deck, a lot of clearing up to do. So hopefully as of next week there will be a lot of machine haulage, a lot of mog footage and a lot of timber rolling out the door to get a bit of money in the bank. It's been a bit tight coming out of winter this year. We obviously haven't pulled out everything we cut. We've been cutting, we've get the machines running, get the diesel going. Obviously haven't had much coming in, so it'd be nice to see the cash flow come up, the timber gets sold. I know the Firewood boys are crying out for it, so hopefully we can get it shifted quick and the weather stays on side. Apparently we've got a dry week this week. It's looking a bit grey as it is, but we're crossing our fingers and hoping that we get a bit of a weather window to get this stuff out. So yeah, watch this space. I'm 5 minutes away from Callum, so we'll hop out, see how they're getting on, see how the harvest has been going. I know Paul's been knocking through the rack fitting, so yeah, let's see what progress they've made. Ben's lorry, some timber on, another load out the door. As it's drying out, we're just having a bit of a tidy up. There's some fair old ruts here from cross loading the flats. We just pulled all that in, tracked that in to level that back off. It is slowly drying out. It's nice. Just changing a couple of pipes on the harvester that have worn through, and the boys are going to start getting cutting again. Certainly looking a bit different from the last time I was down. So I'm stood in the main ride. You can see it goes off through the wood through there. Part of this spec is to ride widening as well. So 5 metres from the centre of the ride, we're taking the first 3 rows out. That'll let a bit more sunlight in and just provide a slightly different bit of biodiversity for the wood. Hopefully leave a bit of grass at the edges, and then it will go back into the pine. Yeah, it is looking tidy. That's the rack up there. Goes down, and it's been thinning each side. And this is how dense it was before. Good contrast. So yeah, this first 3 rows come out to give us 5 metres each side from centre, and widen it out. Right guys, it's Wednesday morning. I am on my way back down to the Softwood site. Our regional sales rep from John Deere, Carlisle, the Forestry John Deere HQ, is in the area, and spoke to him this afternoon, and he said, am I about to meet up, see how things are going? So just on my way to meet him. We've got James from Colwood in with his big Carlton grinder at local estate job. He's grinding all the stumps, so we're going to go up there and see how he's getting on after this. Just set one of the ARB teams off on a 3-dayer, nice local to us in Sundridge, so they're happy and set. And our James is out surveying another estate local to us. All their properties, I think we've got 42 properties for them to survey, and bridleways and footpaths, so that's keeping him busy for a few days. So I'm going to leave Paul to it. I've seen John Deere man, old Paul Williams. That's all sorted. Nice to see him. Trying to sell new machines, but I don't think we're going to do that. Just going to have a wander down and see how the rest of this track's drying out quick, because we want to start forward in the clear fell block again. Get back in there. But yeah, Softwood site checked. Off back up to Sevenoaks. Go and find the stump grinder and go and see how Nathan's getting on. Make our way off down into the woods and go and find James, who is causing mass destruction of stumps. You can see it started up here. It's clearing this track out so the estate can access with some mowers and bits to keep this maintained. These are some big old poplar stumps. I think with his fresh teeth, he's absolutely annihilated these. This will all get levelled out with the digger when we scrape through to finish off. You can tell Beef's been on holiday. He must have been bored out his mind because he has made some bloody good progress yesterday. That is hellish. All those ash trees are down, stacked up. The old chipper's going to be working hard, I think. Crikey. Let's go down and see if we can find him. So yeah, cracking on well. Just had a quick catch up with Nath. Basically, he's just got to finish clearing up this edge, but everything's cut, and then he's got to come back down, and all this ash in front of us, in front of the fir, is coming out. So that'll be the last bit. The handfell, all of that is a tiny little stream, like that tucks along in there, that we're going to try and stay out the way of. But all hazel, all ash, and then it'll just be a nice solid line of fir behind it. So everyone's happy. We're starting to dry out, but we have got the pressure that they're bringing the birds in the next one. I think they started picking them up today. So we're on a bit of time pressure now to crack this out and finish off. I'm hoping that we will get the forwarder next week. This will be it'll take a little bit longer to dry out, but I've just walked to that site where James is stump grinding, and that's drying out nicely. So yeah, forwarder next week, and hopefully get these cleared up, raked out, levelled off, ready for the season. So that is all for this week, guys. Thank you for watching again. I hope you're enjoying these kind of fortnightly ones. We feel like they are coming out better. So we're not rushing to try and get a week in. You get content from 2 weeks, get to see what's going on. So let us know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. And hopefully next week we will have a nice big delivery coming from Grizzly. So watch your space, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.